The first time I tried to box, I was trying to get knocked out. I spent the week since she left staring out my window at the trains leaving MacArthur Station toward her house or further away, waiting for the day I summoned the cowardice to dump myself into the metal lurch before they passed, but couldn't leave the imprint of my absence on my parents, like her place in my chest. Saw how misleading the term for this is, heartbreak. When it's just pounding less, maybe this clenched fist defibrillator, let suicidality take a round before I come back feeling less dead, feeling. Boarding the train, I fantasized as my course of suicide. I thought about the only time someone swung at me, the moment before the end of lunch bell in middle school. The real most unpopular boy trying to usurp my status as second most unpopular, missed on a hook. My jab whiffed. As the bell rang, I wondered on the train, would everything be different if I just leaned in? At 16th Street Station, the traffic danced like we did, timid on our first date. I wanted to embrace the flittering bumpers, but held it in until the gym where, on a friend's advice, I did not proclaim, I came here to get knocked out, but hit a bag, imagining it was her new improved sex life. Hit the bag, visualizing myself sobbing in my window for weeks now, stuck, screaming into each release until for the first time since she left, I didn't want her back. I just wanted water. 2 more trips to the gym, and my friend and this guy he trains asked me to spar with them. I run over the student like I've been dying to be flattened, so my friend blows out the match mid-round, takes his pupil's place, and easily evades anything I swing like a cat, pawing exhausted prey until he nonchalantly starts hammering me in the shit-eating grin. It's such a relief, this contained danger. I feel my heart get off the mat, pumping this one last thought from veins to brain. Patrick is about to knock me out. I keel over center ring, just breathing in. I loved her. I love her. Out. I'm alive and I want to be more alive. In. I was alive with her. Out. I'm alive now. In. Then out. Now in. When it all stops. The only lovers who have ever called me daddy have told me all about him first. In the first case, I had already met Jim, a soft-spoken gynecologist. At that dinner, I kept thinking, Jim's trying not to think about that I have sex with his daughter. That caused me to giggle like a schoolgirl after anything he said. The first time she said it, I imagined we were back at that dinner. I imagined Jim asking me to pass the salt, that I took the head off the shaker and buried his meat in the entirety of its acerbic contents, that his pecker writhed like a tortured slug the further mine plunged into pleasure, as awkward as I was when I couldn't talk to him. Fuck me daddy, she said as I peppered her ass with disciplinary open-hand rouge, and recalled the only time I saw a slug tortured, it was by my soon-to-be promiscuous best friend the summer before middle school, and I don't know if... Excuse me. Cliffhanger. Band-Aid page turn. I don't know. I think I know the line, actually. I don't know if my dad spanked my sister and I. Nothing dramatic enough to scar emotionally. Not like this role play. This felt filthy in the best way. I wanted to run out of my girlfriend's room and stay in equal measure. And I wanted to run back decades to pre-lust days when winning pickup home run derby was the apex of conquest. And I wanted to stay until the specter of my great-great-grandpa, whose name I don't even know, peered through the window. Who's my little girl? I asked her. Imagining the legs of Jim's chair buckling, that he fell below the dinner table as his daughter answered, I am. I imagine asking her to say, fuck me Jim, or fuck me Glenn, my dad's name, which seemed gross and dumb. Do you like this? I asked. She sucked her thumb and nodded. I don't like that. I really like it, I told her. She shushed me, whispering, "Daddy, I have to go to cheerleader practice. Come on, Daddy." That's kind of cliche, I thought. And of Jim, of me standing atop his table, pouring all that gravy on his head. The second time I was rebounding from Jim's daughter. My rebound made clear we could have sex once I'm over who I'm never going to get over. One night she let me spank her for hours in our underwear. She had told me about her dad on a walk, how he either wasn't there, which was sad, or they wished he wasn't, which involved guilt. We lay there afterward, peaked without penetration, not touching. I was suddenly as lonely as before I came over. "You want to call me Daddy sometime?" I asked her. "Do you want to love me?" she said. "No," I said. "Okay," she told me. "Okay, Dad."